They slide me over onto the surgical table. I look to my right, and out of nowhere, Jesus is standing there. The physical person. And I look and I'm like really confused. I'm thinking, what is going on here? And then I thought to myself, did I die? And I thought, I've heard of people when they die, they see themselves floating up above their body. And I thought, oh, I didn't do that, so I must not be dead. But what's going on? It wasn't like it was a dream. It was like heightened reality. And it started right when Jesus stood there. Everything was different. His skin was much darker than I'd seen as a kid. He almost looked like an Arab man. He was wearing a white robe. He had like wavy brown hair, and he had these dark greenish blue eyes. And when those eyes looked into my eyes, he looked into my soul. I could just feel this love emanating from this man. That was what convinced me that it was Jesus. Everything about him just radiated love. He holds out his hand and he says, I want to answer your prayer. And I'm thinking, my prayer? What the heck? I didn't make the connection right away, but I thought, I used to pray as a kid that Jesus would show me heaven. Sounds like a great place, I'd like to see that. I reached out, I took his hand. Immediately, when I took his hand, we were standing on a hill. Everything around me is white, like the whitest white I've ever seen. It's almost blinding. But I look down at my feet and I'm barefoot. I'm still in a nightgown, the surgical gown. And I see this beautiful green grass. It's like it's manicured, it's perfect. It's bluish green, prettiest grass I've ever seen. And my senses were heightened to the point where I could count every single blade of grass under my feet. I could feel every blade of grass. I knew how many blades of grass were touching my feet. It was crazy. And I look around, I'm trying to adjust my eyes to this white so I can see. And I look, and off to my right is another brighter white, but this is like a light. And I look at that light and I think, wow, that's really cool, And all of a sudden, out of that light, it starts sending these light beams. When I was looking at this, I was just in awe. And, obviously confused. Still, I spent a lot of time confused because I'm thinking, what is this? Where am I? And I'm watching these things, and one of them is coming straight at my head. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Should I dodge this thing or what? It hits me right in the forehead. And as it does, it makes this kind of buzzing sound, a light buzzing sound as it goes through me. And it warmed me, like all the way down to my feet. So that cold that I felt in the surgical room now is replaced with this beautiful, warm feeling. All of a sudden, it's like somebody is pulling a curtain from my right to my left. And the white, whatever it was, the white fog or veil or just the whiteness just gets pulled to the side. And now I'm looking at this beautiful scenery. I see that I am standing on a hill. Below me are these little flowers. They're almost like, describe them like sweet peas. Like they have like these little, they're like little petals, little soft petals, but they're all like a pastel color. They're purples and yellows and orange and pinks and just beautiful. And they're moving like they're dancing in the wind, but there's no wind. So I'm thinking, well, why are they moving? And then at the bottom of this hill, the white that was pulled away from from me is now settled in the valley, and there's a great big city down there. But I can only see the rooftops because it's like there's fog on top of the city, so I can't see the whole city, but I can just see the rooftops. And there's one real big gold dome, like a Capitol dome, and there's other smaller gold domes. I mean, the city's huge. It's like miles apart. You know, I'm just looking at it, just going, this is amazing. And when I look back at the light where they were starting from, emanating from, Jesus says to me, it's the glory of the Lord. And when he said that, I just got weak in my knees. And I fell to my knees. And the instant my knees hit the ground, they shocked me and they brought me back.